Welcome back, everyone. Michael here with Offshore Citizen. Today I'm going to share with you some kind of disturbing, terrifying, dangerous news, which is about a residency and citizenship by investment ban proposal. So this is coming from, I'm going to read you guys just the details about it. It's coming from the European Parliament's Committee on Civil Liberties, Justice and Home Affairs. So I'm going to share with you in a moment what their proposals are. They are pretty awful, and once again, suggests that probably, if you're interested in taking advantage of these programs, it's probably a good idea to do so sooner rather than later. So anyway, let's dive in and discuss it. Before we do, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the all notification bell. If you like these videos, please share them with your friends. If you'd like help with getting citizenship by investment somewhere, getting residency by investment somewhere, or relocating abroad, optimizing your taxes, etc., please reach out to us. You can book a call, calendar.com/Michael-Rosmer, link in the description below, or send a message through our websites, offshorecitizen.net and offshorecapitalist.com. Okay, so I'm basically going to read to you what the series of proposals are that they have, because it's pretty nuts. So, number one, impose at least a 50% tax on the program host country on revenues they raise through residency by investment programs. So in other words, the revenues that would come to, say, Malta for their citizenship and residency by investment programs would be taxed 50% by, I guess in this particular case, really it would be the EU. So, what are they trying to do here? They're effectively trying to make it not profitable, so there's not a financial incentive for them to offer these programs. Number two, discourage countries outside the EU from operating investment migration programs by making visa-free travel and, where applicable, EU accession contingent on not operating them. So, in other words, if you had a citizenship by investment program in one of these countries, they could deny you visa-free travel and say, hey, that's not okay with the EU. In addition to that, countries like Montenegro, who are working on getting into the EU, would be denied access to the EU because they have a program like this. Next, prohibit private associations from lobbying the EU on residency and citizenship by investment policy, a resolution to which the IMCs protested fervently, pointing out that it is practically a ban on its core activities, which are legitimate. And yeah, absolutely, banning the ability to lobby on this particular issue seems pretty crazy. This gets even worse, though. Prohibit residency and citizenship by investment firms from assisting governments in implementing residency by investment programs, which would effectively put an end to the industry's government advisory business. So for those of you who don't know, some of the big firms have special advisory units that advise countries on helping them to develop these programs. Whether that's value add or not, it's a whole other conversation. But frankly, just ridiculous. Why should a country not be able to hire advisors for whatever the hell they want? It's a sovereign nation. Crazy. Even from an EU standpoint, whether they choose to hire advisors on that shouldn't be it's not even like you're introducing it in that case. So really crazy. Next, impose EU-level licensing requirements for investment migration practitioners subject to biannual reviews at the discretion of the European Commission itself. So, you can just see how they're trying to close those things in and make it so that, there's something. And frankly, is there really a problem? I haven't noticed that there is. Gets worse. Prohibiting the marketing of investment migration programs. What the hell? So now you can't advertise that there's a program for people to come and visit your country invest and come and live there. Imagine Greece, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Cyprus, etc., all these places not being able to advertise that they have one of these programs. Crazy. Implement a system of periodic undercover sting operations orchestrated by the EU to identify investment migration companies not following the rules, whatever following the rules is defined as. Again, pretty crazy. Then, implement a system whereby the program host state must effectively gain pre-approval of other EU member states before approving an application. So in other words, every time that Malta wanted to give citizenship, it doesn't actually separate here citizenship and residency, so maybe even residency by investment in their country, would require the approval of all the other EU member states, and they could veto that. Again, just basically trying to bog it down in bureaucracy, so it's just so not worth it that nobody does it and they don't do it anyway. organize house calls to make sure residency by investment program investors are physically present in the residences they have bought or leased in the program country. So, you go and you get a golden visa in Portugal. Oh, sorry, we're not going to, we're going to go and we're going to visit you at the house to make sure you're there. This thing about being able to just spend a couple weeks a year, yeah, that one's gone. Terrible. And then finally, impose restrictions on which types of investment classes EU countries can include as qualifying investment categories with special emphasis on green and digital growth investment. So basically, just entirely wiping out the free market, entirely wiping out competition between countries, their ability to do their own thing. To give you some idea, today, the LIBE committee approved the above proposal with 61 votes in favor, 3 against, and 5 absentees. Next, the European Parliament will debate the proposals, and in the next month, between March 7th and 10th, they are supposed to have a vote, which should come out post that. Terrible. Like, to me, I just don't know really what to say. So, will this pass? I don't know. Obviously, broadly across the EU, there's not citizenship by investment programs. On the other hand, the countries that have programs like this are fairly populous. I mean, you've got Spain, you've got Italy, you've got Greece, you've got Portugal. Like, this is a fairly sizable, Italy in particular, right? Italy and Spain. It's a fairly sizable amount of the EU population. Obviously, you also have Latvia and, there's Bulgaria, etc. So, will they have the force to get it through? I would certainly hope not. I think it's ridiculous that they would bring something like this in. But on the other hand, it's pretty disturbing that they are talking about and introducing these. So, while the opportunity is there, it seems wise to take advantage of doing something about it. I think definitely from the standpoint of how the EU, if they pass something like this, is positioning themselves, I think they're going to make themselves much less attractive, right? It's going to bring a lot fewer people in, which, by the way, typically are people who you want to bring in, right? The people who can invest. And on top of that, it's going to make it less attractive. People may just decide, hey, listen, forget about these guys. On the other hand, there's a lot of compelling power. Now, when I was interviewing, if you go back and look, the interview with the head of the CBI program in Antigua, and we'll do another one on Dominica soon. I mean, we're talking about like 10, 20% of their GDP comes from these programs. These countries really rely on these programs. And so it seems quite a humanitarian travesty to me if they were to bring this in. So anyway, tell me what you think in the comments below, and I'm going to look forward to talking to you in the next video. In the meantime, reach out to us if you would like help with any of these types of programs while they exist.